Are leveraged ETFs a ticking time bomb or a secret weapon for long-term investors? In this video, we'll break down one of the most powerful and misunderstood tools in investing, the leveraged ETF, specifically UPRO, which gives you 3x the daily return of the S&P 500. And we'll explore a strategy that's turning heads in finance classrooms, buying UPRO only when the market drops. One question I get asked constantly by students and investors when we cover ETFs is this: when does it actually make sense to use a leveraged ETF like UPRO? Today, I'll show you a framework that uses historical market drops, 5%, 10%, 15%, and 20%, to trigger small, disciplined investments in UPRO. We'll look at how much you would have invested, the risk of losing money, and the profits you could have made. Let's dive in. UPRO is a 3x leveraged ETF that tracks the daily performance of the S&P 500. So if the index goes up 1% in a day, UPRO tries to go up 3%. But here's the catch. If the market is volatile or moves sideways, UPRO's compounding can actually drag returns down over time. That's what we call volatility decay. It's why blindly holding UPRO can be dangerous. So instead of holding UPRO all the time, we ask, what if we only bought it during market corrections? We tested a strategy. Invest $100 in UPRO each time the S&P 500 drops more than 5%, 10%, 15%, or 20% from a peak, and just leave it alone. No selling, no rebalancing. Simple. Each threshold gives a different outcome. Let's start with the 5% rule. From 2009 to 2025, you'd invest around $2,000 because you buy often, you catch early gains, but you also buy before deeper crashes. Your short-term losses can be big. Still, your portfolio could be worth around $4,000 by 2025. Not bad, but a wild ride. At 10%, you invest about $1,000, face fewer early losses, and historically would grow your portfolio to around $3,500. It's a balanced approach. Some risk, but strong returns. Now the 15% rule, fewer entries, just $500 invested. But each entry happens after serious market pain, so the risk per trade is lower. That $500 could grow to $2,400. Lower capital, but efficient growth. Finally, the 20% rule. You'd invest only $400 over 15 years. These buys happen in full-blown bear markets, so the risk of loss is very low, but you don't invest much. Still, that $400 could have become $1,800. Small bets, big potential. So what's the catch? The more often you buy, the more you risk early losses. But you also give yourself more shots at the rebound. Less frequent rules mean fewer losses, but less money invested overall. I've personally followed the 15% rule since 2013. It strikes a balance. But remember, this is not investment advice, just a framework to think about risk, timing, and discipline when using powerful tools like leveraged ETFs. If you found this useful, subscribe, like, and share it with someone curious about ETFs. Thanks for watching.